Titanic is a 1997 American epic romantic disaster film written and directed by James Cameron, incorporating both historical and fictionalized aspects. It is based on accounts of the sinking of RMS Titanic in 1912. Cameron's inspiration came from his fascination with shipwrecks. He felt a love story interspersed with human loss would be essential to convey the emotional impact of the disaster. He uses sinking of Titanic as a backdrop for stories about hubris, greed, class conflict, romance, and misplaced faith in technology. In 1996, aboard the research vessel Kildish, treasure hunter Brock Levitt and his team explore the wreck of RMS Titanic, hoping to find a necklace known as the Heart of the Ocean. Instead, they recover a safe containing a drawing of a young woman wearing the necklace. The sketch is dated April 14, 1912, the day the Titanic struck an iceberg and sank, resulting in about 1,500 deaths. The crew shot at the wrecks, which lies in the Atlantic Ocean, 12 times in 1995. Descending to the site emphasized to the crew that the Titanic disaster was not simply a story of fiction, but a real event with real loss of life. Cameron said, "Working around the wreck for so much time, you get such a strong sense of the profound sadness and injustice of it, and the message of it." He felt a great mantle of responsibility to convey the emotional message of the story. After seeing a television report about the discovery, 100-year-old Rose Dawson Calvert, played by Gloria Stewart, contacts Levitt, revealing she is the woman in the drawing, hoping she can help locate the necklace. Levitt brings Rose and her granddaughter aboard the Kildish, where Rose narrates the film in a framing device. Rose, a sole survivor of the Titanic, to see the present and the past, and connects us in a way through history. In 1912, 17-year-old, beautiful, with piercing eyes, Rose David Bukater, played by Kate Winslet, from Philadelphia, boards the ship of dreams, Titanic, with sheer size, and size means stability, luxury, and safety. In Southampton, England, with her wealthy fiancé, heir to a Pittsburgh steel fortune, arrogant, snobbish, 30-year-old Calden Hockley, played by Billy Zane, and her mother, Ruth. Rose is unhappy in the loveless engagement, but Ruth stresses that the marriage will resolve their financial problems, and we both can maintain high-class status. After her father's death, left the family debt-ridden. Rose contemplates suicide by jumping from the ship's stern, but is stopped by 20-year-old Jack Dawson, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, a poor nomadic artist, bohemian style. He is from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, self-passed and sure-footed, having lived on his own since 15. He wins 2 third-class tickets for the Titanic in a poker game and travels with his friend Fabrizio. He is attracted to Rose at first sight. While saving Rose from attempted suicide, Jack said an iconic line, "You jump, I jump." After saving Rose, her fiancé's invitation to dine with them the next evening enabled Jack to mix with first-class passengers for a night. Kathy Bates as Margaret, Molly Brown, the unsinkable, is looked down upon by other first-class women, including Ruth, says New Money. She is friendly to Jack and lends him a suit for dining saloon, bought for her son. Jack and Rose form a friendship, and Jack confesses his feelings for her. Though initially resistant, Rose realizes she has fallen in love with Jack, despite Cal's and Ruth's disapproval. Despite Rose has everything, she is sad and isolated. For her, this is slave ship. She said to Jack, "They are such small people, Jack, my crowd. They think they are giants on the earth, but they are not even dust in God's eye. They live inside this little tiny champagne bubble, and someday the bubble is going to burst." Rose brings Jack to her stateroom and asks him to draw her, wearing only the necklace. Heart of the Ocean necklace used as a MacGuffin, as a central story thread, uniting the different characters and unifies the plot of the film. Afterward, they evade ex-Pinkerton constable and now Cal's valet, Spicer Lovejoy. and makes love in a car in the cargo hold. On the forward deck, they witness the ship's collision with an iceberg and overhear officers discussing the severity of the situation. When Cal discovers Jack's sketch of Rose, he has Lovejoy plant the necklace on Jack, framing him for theft. Jack is arrested and locked in the Master at Arms office, and Cal pockets the necklace. As Titanic sinks, women and children are prioritized for the lifeboats. First class first. From third class, one woman tells her little boy, "We are just waiting dear. When they finish putting first class people in the boats, they will be starting with us and we will want to be all ready." The class differences on board become a matter of life and death. The lifeboats are reserved for first class passengers, and those in steerage are locked below behind sliding gates. Crew members enforce these distinctions, sometimes at gunpoint. So loyal are they to their employers that even though they are going to die, they feel no sympathy for their lower class comrades. Rose rescues Jack and they return to the deck, where Cal urges Rose to board a lifeboat, claiming he and Jack will board another. Cal unwittingly wraps his coat containing the necklace around her. As her lifeboat is lowered, Rose jumps back onto the ship, unwilling to leave Jack behind. Enraged, Cal grabs a pistol from Lovejoy and chases them through the flooding ship, but gives up when they escape. Other characters like Thomas Andrews, the ship's builder, is portrayed as a kind, decent man who is modest about his grand achievement. After the collision, he tries to convince the others, particularly after Ismay said she is unsinkable. He replied, "She is made of iron, sir. I assure you she can and she will. It is a mathematical certainty." He is depicted during the sinking of the ship as standing next to the clock in the first class smoking room, lamenting his failure to build a strong and safe ship. Captain Edward John Smith planned to make the Titanic his final voyage before retiring. He retreats into the wheelhouse on the bridge as the ship sinks, dying when the windows burst from the water pressure whilst he clings to the ship's wheel. J. Bruce Ismay, White Star Line's ignorant, boorish managing director. With the prospect of an earlier arrival in New York and favorable press attention, he influences Captain Smith to go faster. After the collision, he struggles to comprehend that his unsinkable ship is doomed. Ismay later boards one of the last lifeboats to leave the ship just before it is lowered. Wallace Hartley, the ship's bandmaster and violinist, who plays uplifting music with his colleagues on the boat deck as the ship sinks. As the final plunge begins, he leads the band in a final performance of "Nearer, My God, to Thee" to the tune of Bethany and dies in the sinking. When the propellers are 150 feet out of the water, the image is shocking, unbelievable, and unthinkable. The spectacle, unable to frame it or put it into any proportion. As the flooded bow sinks, the stern rises into the air, and Jack and Rose cling to the railing. The ship splits in two, and the stern sinks into the freezing water with the remaining passengers. Jack helps Rose onto floating wooden board and makes her promise to survive and live a full life. Jack dies from hypothermia, but Rose is saved by a returning lifeboat and rescued by the RMS Carpathia. Old Rose said, 1,500 people went into the sea when Titanic sank from under us. There were 20 boats floating nearby, and only one came back. One. 6 were saved from the water, myself included. 6 out of 1,500. Rose hides from Cal and her mother and gives her name as Rose Dawson on her arrival in New York City. At the center of the story is Rose's coming-of-age journey as she finds love and courage, and her fully realized character arc. The meticulous historical detail in the art design, set, and costume, the use of both practical and digital effects, and the terrifyingly realistic depiction of the ship's sinking is mind-blowing. The exceptional chemistry between the two leads, emotional depth, and a timeless yet divisive love story, which makes us invested in their fictional plight amidst the real-life tragedy. DiCaprio, Winslet, and Stewart gives emotional depth to their characters, and delivers memorable performances. The film effectively uses the historical backdrop to explore themes of class division, highlighting the disparate experiences and survival rates of the rich and the poor on the doomed voyage. In the present, Rose reveals that Cal committed suicide after losing his fortune in the 1928 crash. She tells the Kildish crew that now you all know there was a man named Jack Dawson and that he saved me in every way that a person can be saved. Alone at night on the stern of the Kildish, Rose, who has kept the necklace in her possession, drops it into the sea above the wreck. Later, as she lies in her bed, photographs on her dresser depict a life of freedom and adventure inspired by Jack. As Cameron said, the story could not have been written better had it been fiction. The juxtaposition of rich and poor, the gender roles played out unto death, women first, the stoicism and nobility of a bygone age, the magnificence of the great ship, matched in scale only by the folly of the men who drove her hell-bent through the darkness. And above all, the lesson: the life is uncertain, the future unknowable, the unthinkable possible. It has endured as a beloved timeless classic that continues to move audience decades after its initial release. I haven't come across script like this, so well written and detailed. Perfectly crafted and spellbinding film. Titanic is currently streaming on Jio Hotstar. Enjoy the film. If you enjoyed the video, then please like and share this video. Do subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click the bell icon.